Hi, today I'm showing you a production rack system with semantic caching, intelligent agents, and guardrails. So the workflow goes as this. The user enters a query. Guardrail blocks any off-topic queries, jailbreaks, or PII. If guardrail passes, then we check if there is any semantic cache in the DB. If yes, then we return this cache answer or response to the user. If there's no answer, or cached answer, then we will need to go and choose between any of these three tools, rack, tably, or archive, so we can get the answer. Once we get the answer, we pass it to the helpfulness agent, which will evaluate if the answer is actually helpful. If the answer is helpful, then we will return it to cache it, and then we will provide the answer to the end user. If the answer is not helpful, then we will need to refine the response. We will get new answer from the tools, and then we will evaluate it until we get the proper answer, or we reach a maximum of 10 attempts. All right, so now let's jump into the different modules. So the first one is guardrails. This module adds safety layers to our LangGraph agents. It uses guardrail AI to validate both inputs and outputs in real time. On the input side, it will be blocking for jailbreak attempts, filters for profanity, redacts PII information like credit cards or social security numbers, and it restricts conversations to allowed topic only. And on the output side, it validates factuality, making sure that the agent's response is grounded to the provided context and does not hallucinate information. This is a production-safe AI with built-in safety checks. Now for the caching strategies, we have two. The first one is the caching PY. This one will handle embedding caching. When we convert text to vectors, we store those embeddings locally so we don't have to recompute them. So this is in memory. The second one is the semantic cache PY. What this will do is it does the same, but in a little bit smarter. It caches the entire question answers pair using vector, similarity, and quadrant. So if somebody asks things like, what is the financial aid, or later ask, hey, explain financial aid to me, it will recognize this as similar queries and will return a cache response without having to call the LLM again. So the difference between the first one and the second one will be that the first one is in memory and the second one is on an actual database, plus the semantic part. Both of them reduce cost and latency. So, and finally, let's jump into the main PY, which is our fast API production application. It brings everything together. It exposes the REST API with the different settings and modes that we have available, starting with the guardrails, which are always on. It will also integrate the rack with semantic caching, call the different tools like archive or tably. And then it will also get in charge of calling the helpfulness agent mode, which will evaluate the response quality and refine answers if they're not helpful enough. So I'm just gonna keep on scrolling a little bit so you can see the different endpoints here. This is to load the documents. This is to check the cache status, statistics to see, if there's anything on cache, we can clear it as well here. This is just general health mode for the API. So now let's proceed testing the application. First, we're gonna run the app, and then we're going to test the application. So this script will run different tests. First of all, it will clear the cache. It will then make sure all the modes or all the functions are available. And then we'll check the semantic cache performance. It will check for guardrails, make sure that the tool selection is appropriate, and also the different behavior between the different agents, like helpfulness or normal agent. So let's see how it runs. All right, and when it has finished, it will give us a full report of all these tests, the cache. We can see means cache here and something that was actually cached. Also the guardrail results, the agent modes for example, simple agent and helpfulness. Also helpfulness that failed, and also the different tool selections, and we can have a test summary at the end. All right, this is all I have for you today. The code is going to be on the comments. I really hope you have a great time. Bye.